Welcome back to AkamaiTV. I'm Shane Keats, and I'm joined today by an extraordinary individual. Dr. Zhou Wang is one of the most widely cited researchers in the field of perceptual quality and image assessment. He is also the Chief Science Officer of SSIMWAVE. Dr. Wang, welcome to AkamaiTV. I'm so glad to have you here. Doctor, for many of our viewers, they won't know what perceptual quality is. Can you explain to us what this field is?
The idea is very simple. So if you have a picture, you show this picture to common viewers, the picture might be blurry, might be noisy, might be compressed, and people would say the picture is excellent quality and bad quality, poor quality. And you want to create an automatic algorithm that can predict that. So that's the goal. That's the goal of perceptual image quality assessment. It's just simply to predict what human would say about the quality of the image.
How do you teach an algorithm to be a human?
That's an interesting question. So basically what you really want to know is to understand the human visual system. Right? So there are huge science behind that, psychophysics and neuroscience that can help you create computational models that can predict human behaviors when they evaluate image quality. What we want to do is to convert all these computational models into a software that you can use and can run, you can get some scores, and then you can predict human scores.
When you now have this score, how do you apply it to the media workflow?
We want to first convert these human models into software, and we deploy the software into multiple monitoring points in the video delivery chain. And we call these QoE probes. When I say QoE, I mean quality of experience. Right? So these QoE probes deployed at different points in the video delivery chain will tell you exactly when the video stream reached that point, what the human perceptual quality would be at that point.
So if the probe identifies a problem with the visual quality at that point, what's the benefit to the programmer of that? How do they use that data?
So the first thing you earn the awareness. When you deploy all these probes throughout the video delivery chain, you got a full picture about how the quality evolved over different points over time through video distribution. Once you have that, then you will know exactly if anything bad happened, where is the exact location. You can localize problem, you can solve problem at that point.
The OTT workflow is exceptionally complicated. How does this help programmers with that complexity? Or what does the complexity do when they're trying to do visual assessment without SSIMWAVE or without perceptual quality?
Yeah, so in the past, people have been working on other ways to do quality control. The most typical thing people are doing is what we call the QoS measurement. When you talk about QoS, quality of service, you are focusing on network metrics. So for example, how big bandwidth you are using, how much delay you have, and what's the packet drop rate. You are using this what we call QoS metric to infer perceptual quality of your users. But that's not what you are really looking for in the end, because eventually what really matters is the final user's QoE at the viewer device. So what you want to do is to do your measurement at each single point along the video delivery chain. Everything can be mapped to how much impact you're going to make on the final user's QoE. So those are the things we're measuring right now, and this is the thing that we're changing how the industry should do quality control in video distribution.
When you try to explain your system to a programmer who is new to this concept, what's the pushback that you get? Is there a skepticism? What concerns do they have?
I think you can look at this from two perspectives. The first thing is, I think the industry has has been getting used to the old mindset about how to define quality. So for example, at the consumer device side, people tend to equate quality with the number of pixels you're getting. Right, so inside the network, people equate quality with bandwidth. Right, but both of these are wrong, right? So for example, you are using exactly the same bandwidth to compress two videos with very different complexity. You could end up with very different quality, dramatically different quality in the end. So these metrics are really not telling you the final user's experience, right? So the first thing we want to convince the industry is that you have to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset. You have to believe final user's QoE measured based on human perceptual system is the thing that you should use. You should use to define quality, and all the optimization work should be built on top of that. So the second thing is you have to show you the outcome. You have to show your software, your product is predicting perceptual quality live on user device and also on your source, on your post-transcoder, post-packager inside network. Once they are seeing it, then we see there's no problem, and people are seeing that working because the industry in the past, they don't believe you can do perceptual quality prediction, and particularly they don't believe you can do it live in real time. Right? So if they see that, they're going to accept that.
What do you do to help them understand that this is real? Is there a visualization tool that you use for your customers? How do they understand that the results are what they are?
Yeah, so basically we have a very nice dashboard to show all the outcome. We also have more detailed deep dive kind of software tool for you to look inside the algorithm, expose what we are computing inside the core algorithm. We have a tool to expose that. Once they see that, they know, okay, you are really measuring the perceptual quality behind that.
The customers who embrace this, what kind of benefits are they seeing in their end-to-end workflow?
Yeah, so basically they gain two things. One is they really gain the comprehensive awareness of quality throughout the whole video distribution network. Right, so this is from the very beginning, from the source content they're getting. Some of them may already be in bad quality. They have a way to detect that. Or they, at media center, they're preparing for all this content, doing transcoding, compress the video into different bandwidths and resolution, and some of them may look bad. And once they have this quality measure, they can detect problems. If there's any problem, or if there's a breakdown of certain part of the computation, you can detect that. And also, they can detect in the end, at final user's device, if the quality is not good, they can know that. So once they have this full awareness, they can do a lot of optimization on top of that. You can make better choice at the transcoder side. You can make better choice at the CDN inside the network. You can also make better choices on the device when you apply adaptive streaming strategies to your user device.
How quickly does the probe generate this data? Is this truly in real time? How fast can customers action on this kind of data?
Yeah, so all the software we have are real time. Right? So we can compute everything in real time. That's right.
The probes or the software, is this complicated to deploy, or is it a relatively turnkey solution? If there are a lot of professional services you have to use, what does a customer need to do?
So this is a software solution. So we don't require super expensive specific hardware, and the deployment of the software is pretty convenient. And of course, we're going to provide the services to make sure that all the things are deployed very well, everything is running properly.
We have been hearing in our industry for a very long time this question, what does good look like? It sounds like you may have a real answer to that. Do I understand correctly that you've won an Emmy for this work?
Yes, I won an Emmy for my earlier work on image quality assessment.
What did it feel like to win an Emmy?
Yeah, so of course I'm super happy. At the same time, I was surprised because my understanding is that Emmy is for industry people. At that time, I was purely academic in academic work, and I was a professor and just doing research, publishing some papers. Right, so that's all I did, and then suddenly the industry is giving me this award. I was really surprised at that time.
Dr. Wang, it's delightful to have you. I'm delighted by your Emmy, and I'm delighted that we may be really having an answer to that really critical question. Thanks so much for being on AkamaiTV.
Thank you very much.
That's great. We will be back with more AkamaiTV after a short break. Stay with us.